Welcome back to the channel. I'm Chase and this is All Things Ram. Today we are looking at the Pagani design Tiffany Blue 1701 Moonwatch, and it's going to be given away. Now, I made a video a couple videos ago that said that 2023 was going to be the year of giving, and this is no different. This watch I actually purchased on Amazon by myself, except that it took forever to get here and I ended up getting a refund, and then finally it showed up. So basically this watch is free, so I'm going to be giving it away to one of you guys. This is not necessary. This is one of those watches that it's for you or it's not for you. Tiffany Blue has been extremely popular in the last 2 years, and I'm actually looking forward to it phasing out because everything's kind of Tiffany Blue. However, Pagani Design makes some pretty damn good watches, and I wanted to make sure that I got my hands on one before it began to phase out. So we're going to be doing a video on this Moon watch homage in Tiffany Blue. And like any Pagani design, I can tell you that the quality is extremely high. I was actually in a conversation with my sister not that long ago. She bought her husband a movement watch, and I had no idea why she spent $250 on a piece of junk when you have things like Pagani designs, when you have San Martins, when you have Parnasses, when you have all these other type of watches, even something like a Tissot. She could have bought him a Tissot or a Hamilton or anything else that's going to last a long time. Instead, she went movement. Don't understand why, but this Pagani design is an amazing watch. So make sure you watch to the very end of the video if you guys want to be entered in to win the giveaway for this watch. And let's hop right into the video. First, let's talk about the homage community when it comes to watches like Pagani Design, Parnas, San Martin, some of these other watch brands that will basically take the design cues of a very popular watch. This specifically would be the Omega Speedmaster Moonwatch, which is a very, very popular watch. And honestly, I would say that it's nearly a perfect watch, especially when it comes to the chronograph. Now, you can either dress it up or dress it down, and we'll do the same thing to this watch at the very end of this video. You guys know I own Chase Straps, chasestraps.com. I'm going to toss this thing from its steel bracelet onto a distressed leather strap and show you how, you can dress it up and dress it down. So let's just get into the nitty-gritty of the watch review itself. So let's talk about first the case. Now, the case itself is a solid 316L stainless steel, and it is very beautifully brushed along the edges with chamfered edges. It is very beautifully brushed along the sides and the top, and it does have chamfered edges, which gives that nice pop with that high polished. Now, the case size on this is 40 millimeters in diameter. It is 13 millimeters thick, and the lug width of this is 20 millimeters, so it can fit any chase strap that I offer on chasestraps.com. Now, the biggest thing that people want to know is the lug to lug, which is the footprint of the watch itself. Now, the lug to lug, or from one lug across the watch to the bottom lug, from the top to the bottom, it's 48 millimeters in diameter. So it actually wears very, very well on a medium sized to even smaller wrist. Now, my wrist is 7 1/4, and you can see that it looks very, very proportionate to the average medium-sized wrist. So that lug-to-lug is nearly perfect when it comes to the sizing. Now, if we did a quick walk around the case, you can see that those sides are brushed. Again, those chamfered edges look amazing. Really nice taper also on the lugs that go down to a 5-link bracelet. Really a big fan of this bracelet. It's extremely comfortable. It's very similar to a presidential bracelet that you'd see on a Rolex Day-Date. Very, very comfortable. The smaller links allow it so that it's easy to fit on your wrist when it comes to sizing. When you have something like an oyster style bracelet, the bracelet links are slightly longer, and because of that, it's very difficult to actually fit it on your wrist quite well. Now, this tapers down to the clasp, which is a push button milled clasp, and it's very, very nice, and it actually has 3 micro adjustments. So again, the way the bracelet is set up is very, very easy to fit perfectly on your wrist. Even though you don't have like a glide lock clasp that can adjust on the fly, I have found no issues with this once I've adjusted it to my wrist. It fits perfectly every single time. This watch does have a solid stainless steel screw down case back, and this watch does offer 100 meters of water resistance, which is really nice for a watch at a price point of just around $120. This means you can wear the watch in everyday wear, to include jumping in the pool, jumping in the ocean. You really don't have to worry at all about any water intrusion into the case. Now, that being said, they themselves even said that if you are underwater, make sure you don't press those pushers, because there could be a possibility that there could be water intrusion. Any chronograph, even a dive chronograph, should not be used under the water, because those seals are designed to be intact when not in use. When you seal something up for water resistance, the last thing you want to do is start messing with it. So please do not press the pushers underneath the water. That being said, 100 meters water resistance is great for a watch like this, especially a chronograph. Even Omega themselves only have 50 meters of water resistance. So I would say that gives it even just another little notch on the pros list. On that case back, you see a laser engraving of what looks like a Challenger style or shuttle style spaceship that is flying through space. Again, this is an homage to the Omega Moonwatch or the Speedmaster, so of course they want to stick with that space theme. I don't blame them for that, but you know, it kind of is funny that they're going out of their way to make it more of a moon watch, even though it's never really been on the moon. Now, flipping around to the front of this watch, over that Tiffany blue dial is going to be a domed sapphire crystal. One of the things I do not understand is why even more expensive micro brands will not put a sapphire crystal on the watch. This watch, again, $120, has a domed sapphire, and even the movement watch my sister had gotten her husband only had mineral glass, and it was $250. So it's nice to see that they have that higher quality material built into this watch itself. Next to that dial is what appears to be a ceramic bezel insert. Now, I've done a lot of reading on this watch, and I can't find anything that tells me the material. I know it's not sapphire, so it's probably ceramic. It looks like they did a really good job on this bezel insert. And if it is ceramic with that sapphire crystal next to it, that means this thing is gonna look new for a very, very long time. Now, on to the dial itself. Let's talk about this beautiful Tiffany blue dial. Now, that light blue is not for everybody, but I think like any Pagani design watch, which is exactly what this is, if you've seen the Pagani design in black that is a direct homage from the Omega Speedmaster, then this is the exact same thing, minus the fact that it has a blue dial. The subdials are very well done. They're stepped down. You have the second hand at the 6 o'clock. You have a 24-hour at the 3 o'clock. Then you have the 1 hour timing subdial at the 9 o'clock. Inside of this watch has the Seiko VK63 Mega Quartz movement. Now that means you hit that pusher right there at the 2 o'clock position, and it starts ticking at about 5 ticks a second. One of the things that I really like about Mega Quartz, that, you know, there's pros and cons to everything. Some people love quartz, some people love mechanical movements. Me, I like something that functions very well, very accurately. I like automatic and mechanical movements. Not a big fan of quartz movements. So if I am gonna have a quartz movement, I want it to be a Mega Quartz, and I like the fact that the subdial is the second hand, which means you can't see that large timing second hand tick at 1 tick a second. So because it's ticking at 5 ticks a second, it gives you sort of that mental mind shift that it's not necessarily a quartz, that it could be mechanical, because the sweep is a little more smooth. That being said, you can also say that because it has a smoother sweep, it's easier to time. You can argue both ways. But the pushers are very, very positive on their feedback. You can definitely feel it click when you set the timer, and then when you reset it, you can feel a nice solid click. Also, it does have a screw down crown, and the functions on this watch are extremely easy to use. This does not have a date function on this dial itself, but the VK63 does have a date option. So because of that, it does have a ghost date. So when you pull out that crown at the first position, it's going to have a date wheel that is non-functioning on this watch. That being said, that's not really a deal breaker for me, especially again at this price point. Now let's take a look at this watch on a vintage gray suede leather strap from Chase Straps. Now, I've always said you can dress up and dress down a watch, and in no way is this watch any different. Now, I love the gray suede leather strap that I have at Chase Straps on something like a Rolex Datejust, because that is truly dressed down. You can wear a Rolex, even a Rolex diver like a Submariner. You can wear that on one of these vintage leather straps, and you can wear a polo and a t-shirt. Nobody would look twice because it just fits so well. And then you can put the bracelet back on and wear it in a suit. And here it is on the gray vintage suede leather strap. I think it looks great. I think a lot of times people will not change the bracelet or strap on their watch because they have a fear of doing such, but a strap or a bracelet is like clothing on a person. The watch case itself and the dial is the person, and the strap is the clothing, so why not change the clothing like you would yourself? Now, what do you guys think about this watch? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you want it? If you do want it, remember, you have to be a subscriber. You have to leave a comment down below in this video. Then you have to like the video. You don't have to share the video. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Be a subscriber, comment in the video, and like the video. And then in 2 weeks, I will pin the winner of the watch in the comments. So you have to come back and make sure you check that you are the winner or you're not the winner, because again, I'm going to pin it. Now, I have 6 other watches to give away in the next 1.5 months, maybe 2 months. As the videos come out, again, I'm going to tell you whether or not it's going to be a giveaway in the beginning or it's not. I have an example like this MMI watch is not going to be a giveaway. This will be a watch review that is either the next one or the next video. This is a prototype, so it has to go back. But I have all this other stuff on the desk that I will be giving away. I want to give back to you guys because you guys are what make this channel grow. So because of that, I need you guys to make sure you're watching the videos and make sure you guys are commenting down below and make sure you guys are interacting, because I love the interactions. I really do. I will respond to any and all comments and questions in videos that even were out 3 years ago. I'll go back and I'll respond to those also. So let's grow this community, and thank you guys so much. If you like this Pagani design, leave a comment down below. I'm only going to choose winners from the people who comment and like the video in that video, and that's it. So even though this channel has almost 9,000 subscribers, there may only be 30 people who comment, so you have 1 in 30 chance of getting this watch. And if you comment in every single video that has a watch review, then you just are, again, giving yourself a higher chance of getting one of these watches. Again, I want to give back to you guys because I love the community we're building and I love the back and forth conversation. So make sure you guys are also hitting that notification bell so you can be notified when I drop these videos. Until next time.